All right, welcome back to Soul Spark Tarot. I'm your host, Mr. Anu. So let's get started on this actual reading. Here's the overview. So we're looking at what causes you confusion. We're looking at the fact that fear is one of the main causes, but it's not fear in and of itself, it's reluctancy. Reluctancy is the idea of resistance. This is the idea of spaces. When you have resistance, that means you have more space values. Again, you're not the number one, you're the number 1,000. That is the idea. And so that's what these spaces do. It creates distance. And when you have a lot of things in a single space, it creates confusion. So we're looking at how we can overcome this confusion. And the way our solution, our overall energy is, and it's funny because, again, this is the card of confusion. The overall energy is the card of confusion, but it is the answer in and of itself. You know that it is the single card of confusion. You know the one. You can see the common denominator between all of them. And the common denominator between all of them is you. So it's what you're working on. You got the Seven of Cups, came out the Seven of Pentacles. That's insane, right? No, because what this is showing you is the interconnectedness behind these fears. It's what you're confused on is predicated upon the things that you're afraid to address, even if you've addressed it before. Some people try experiences once and they never do it again, and that one thing kind of impacts and influences the preconceived notion and the actual experience. It lumps it all together, the body, the brain. And so this is this interconnectedness. One cup, one pentacle. That is the interwovenness that I'm referring to. Once we see that these things are connected, like riding a roller coaster for the first and last time only, eating a food for the first and last time only, we got to remember that sometimes those are negative experiences. So, do you like mac and cheese or not? You like cheese, you like pasta, but for some reason you ate this mac and cheese and you did not like that. So I like these two parts and then I don't like that part. What the fuck is going on? I'm confused. Do I like it or not? It requires you to do something extra. And that is the Seven of Pentacles. It's not extra because it's actually a part of it. If you're going to sweep the floor, you should mop the floor. I mean, that should be what it is. But sometimes you don't have to mop the floor. You just don't have to. But you should sweep it. Right? Sometimes if you clean the bathroom, you don't have to clean the baseboards. But you might need to do it occasionally. At some point in time, you're going to need to. What we're saying is the confusion can be squelched with time. But because it is an emotion, a lot of people don't realize that they're the ones who are carving out the waterfall through your actions. You are the one that's carving out the river. You are the water. And the reason why you're confused is because you're trying to flow in places that don't allow you to flow. You're trying to flow on the earth, on the soil, through the trees. That's how you're acting. But you're in a situation and you're just a spilled puddle of water on the table. You have to see that those emotions are different. You can't think that you're rowing rapids when you're just isolated on this island called your counter. You got to look at the environment. You got to look at the pentacle, the earthly side, to where those habits are stemming from. And then you can make the change. So, a more practical example is, I think I've given a lot. A more practical example, though, for you as you change and live this life courageously, have the courage to be humble in situations. Many, actually. When you look at things that make you afraid, it gives you peace because you just know. So I started doing certain things again that I was doing during that time frame of me being super peaceful during Soul Spark Radio Season 1. I think that was in like 2018. And that was a time where all of my roots were just coming down. But it's because I was being presented with a new form. It wasn't even my final form. It was the start to what I am now. And I'm grateful for that time because I was grateful then. I knew that I wanted change. I knew change was coming. I wasn't afraid of it. I stepped into it and I embraced my spirituality. And even if I didn't fully embrace it, like it's taken me a lot of time to be open and honest with like me doing tarot and things like that. But I'm here. And I've been trying to be there because I remember when I only talked to this stuff about my closest people. But all of the closest people betrayed me. to the like nigga damn like Julius Caesar. That's what I mean. And so I was given a new opportunity for life, man. And I just know that the life that I want to live, I'm still heading towards there. So even if I'm in this in-between state, I can be okay with this confusion. I can understand this confusion as what it is because it's only me not knowing how to align this one of these cups with one of these pentacles. But I have the Ace of Pentacles, and this is what I've been praying for. I've been praying for that one thing to build my brand new foundation on. My new roots. Trying to turn this card right side up. I've been looking for that. And like that has been my mission, but I've been running away from things at the same time. So it's taking me from my mission. So it's like two people in a relationship and they, instead of addressing the problem, they run away from the problem, but they stay together. So the problem creates a space between. Now, instead of having 11, I got 101. That 101, I posted the 1 and the 1 right next to each other as a brand new thing in and of itself. We have a place value in between. In that 10 space, it happens two different ways. 10 times 10 gives you your 100. So, because of that, we got this space of we being both right and we being both wrong. That needs to change. Again, there should not be any confusion of who's right and who's wrong, who's more right and who's less right. We need to make choices based upon real facts, based upon actions, based upon routines, based upon this 7 energy. And this is the energy that we're trying to build from. The foundational energy that won't ever change unless something really has to rock your world. Bigger than the tower moment. It's a tower with a judgment and a call for justice. That's the kind of energy that I mean will shake this foundation in the future. All of the energy that you're bringing is strong now. That's what you got to understand. This is for the spiritually developed. I'm trying to coach you up through your life because you are here living life, but there's parts that you missed because we all miss it. But now you're here and you can see more clearly because you can see what you do and what you work on. You can see what didn't work on the past and you know where you want to start now. I used to invest in like cryptos and stocks, man. I was pretty okay. I was pretty good with the dividends, finding stocks that had derivative or dividend payouts, and then I was getting into cryptos. There's other people around me who was doing the same shit, but they were like trading in bulk and selling and finding, in little groups and shit to do that. So they was making more money, but I think I was learning a better game because I understand it. And I was not afraid. I was constantly looking at my bank account. I was constantly looking at my budget. I was constantly looking at stocks and values and changes. And you know what? My money was up. I was giving it attention. My energy was up. I didn't have a car. I had a bike, so I was biking everywhere. And I will bike to fucking yoga, and I will bike to the gym, and I will bike to work and grocery shopping. I would do it all. I wasn't doing any drugs. I wasn't drinking any alcohol. I wasn't doing anything of the sort. All I was doing is addressing my devils. The devils in my life that turned my whole world upside down. The sneaky behaviors, and this was in the form of people, and then it became in the form of habits, and then it became in the form of thoughts, and then it transformed into energies, and that's where it sits now. It's in just this energetic form. But because I have a familiarity with the signature, now I can recognize it. So if you in some kind of confused state, that means you're recognizing some kind of energy from the past that turned part of your world upside down. And flip this coin on its head. Because you have the knowledge now, you have the know. You got the knowledge to go to the edge, which is the combination of this and this. You can go to where you put your cup on the coaster. And that point of contact, how it contacts, is it's going to create that stability or balance or not. And now you can look at the devilish side to the things. You can look at the sneaky parts, the parts that wobble or wibble. You can look at those things now. And that is what gives you the strength over the devil, because you need this part. You need this part. This is the part of you that had the courage. You have the courage. Nigga, you got the courage to accept the devil? Like, do you not understand God? But the idea is, yes, you do. It's just a different part of that person who is accepting that devil. And guess what? They still got to do something with the energies that you have. So this is the idea of having a good devil. This is having a devil on your team. This is the idea of having an angel on your team. Both of these roles, these positions, you use these things to quell the confusion. Once you squelch all of the actions inside, you can smolder a brand new base. You can de-weed your garden. You can deworm your dog. You can do those things when you get fed up. Oh my God, you got fucking fleas? I gotta fucking go shower you because I don't want all of these things to happen and then those things to happen. So I'm gonna fucking be mad as I use this fire. I'm gonna use that fire. Oh, damn. That fire right there. And I'm gonna use it to create fruits and what? More passions. The dude wears the passions, the woman has the fruits. But it all comes from the fire of the what we call dark side. This dark side is just the passion. Remember, fire before fire, it's all darkness. So the fire that you carry inside of you, your spark, is surrounded in darkness. You are the one that is in the form. You are in the form of fire. So you are the devil to all of those in the dark. Just imagine walking into somebody's room and cutting on the lights. You are the worst thing in the world to that person who's trying to sleep. That's what people say. Cut off the light. No. You're literally saying those things. That person is this, but you're that. You've been sleeping all day. No. 5 more minutes. You got to understand this. Again, this is just you for yourself, man. This is just you helping yourself. You got to be able to understand the different parts of you. You get mad. You got sad. You used to be demanding. All of us did these things as a baby. When it was time to eat, I'm crying. When I don't want to be here, I'm crying. When I'm asleep but I want to stay up, I'm crying. When I want to go to bed, I'm going to cry myself to sleep. When I'm happy, I'm laughing. I'm chilling. And now you stop laughing and chilling with me, I'm crying. You don't give a damn sometimes. That part of you was in you. So you need to start not caring about the terrible things of your past, the horrible experiences, all the past trauma. You know you're fragile. You have that experience of being broken. being hurt, being dissed, being disrespected. All of those are emotional responses. I don't care if you're the toughest motherfucker. If you're angry, that's an emotional response. It's confusion. I'm not saying don't get mad. We need that energy because I'm mad at the situation. So I'm going to change that shit. But you got to know what kind of foundation that anger is standing on. Is it based in reality? Or is it something that's just trying to sneak past you? This is the Seven of Swords. This is the thought past process of this confusion. But notice, this is a negative connotating card. Sneaking away. This is a card of confusion. Stagnation. But this is a card of the same shit, but in a different form. This guy is watching his plants grow. That's stagnation. These are thoughts trying to get away with things, being sneaky. That's the small growth of the pentacles. Plants grow over time. Things change over time. But you know that some things can die over time without the right nourishment. Things can go by the wayside. Things can turn upside down. But if you understand it right side up, in order for things to grow, if you don't know how to grow something, you should go try to grow like the little box tomatoes and peppers and stuff. You'll see that there's phases. So as things grow, there's changes that indicate that you're at a different point, which is you getting closer. Here in this state, you don't care about what you have. You're just looking at the fact that there are differences. So when you're looking at the differences, they all look the same because everything's so different, I'm confused. But over here, you can tell what stage of life the plant is at based upon what you see. So if you see nothing, that means that stage is nothingness. It's a seedling. But if you see a big old mature plant with a bunch of tomatoes on there, you know what stage that plant is at. And then if you see little flowers and you see a tree, but you see the flowers, you know the tomatoes is coming. If you see dried up tomatoes on the branch, you know that the next generation is coming. There's parts that you can pay attention to that have a solid foundation that can never change. This is our psychological developments of life. This is the idea of being 2 years old versus 24 years old. We know there's a difference. Even if there's things that overlap and remain the same. Those things might cause us confusion, but what they're grounded in is what we're talking about. And it's the stagnation. It's the slow change. This is this slow confusion. This is the fast confusion. But what is the Seven of Swords, or the Seven of Rods? That is you defending yourself. That is you having the higher ground. That is you taking the high road and now still taking advantage of your position, which is to attack and defend. You are doing things the same way as this. You have the high ground. You being sneaky. Get off of there. You're cheating. But actually, what are you really doing? You're moving. You're getting away. This 7 energy that we have today looks like it's going to be blessed with a lot of opportunity. This 7 energy, this is the 15 card, this is the 4 card, but 777. This 7 energy is here to help us move through this confusion. It's the spirituality. It's the faith. It's the idea that we can remain. It's the concept of being okay with things that we have in our life. Changes. We all have changes in our lives. And what do we want to change into? What do we want to see grow? We don't care about what is causing us confusion. We should not focus on what is causing the emotional discord. You're just flowing through it. It's just an experience. Be the water on the table and be the water in the ocean. Be the water in the river. It's different emotional dynamics. You must be aware. So it's okay to have all the differences or aka confusion of the emotions. Just know what you're standing on. Know which one of these cups belongs to which of these plants, aka these pentacles. Know which thoughts is trying to make me convince myself that this cup belongs down here. You know that plant doesn't need to be by this other plant. You know this person can't hang out with that person. You know this thought can't help you solve that thought. You know these feelings don't match with these thoughts. You know how to match the square hole with the square peg. You've been doing these things since you were a child. So when I'm talking to people and I'm addressing people and I'm telling them how I can help them and how they can help themselves, I'm not using anything new. And when they decline and when they refuse, it shows me that they're just in this state. They're okay with their roots. They don't want to change their roots. They don't want to do anything new. It doesn't help them though. Because if you're acting like a baby and you don't use baby tools and skills to get through, you're going to end up in this position, man. You're going to end up in this position. You have to be the one to put an end to the thoughts that put confusion in your feelings and discord in your plants. It just shakes down your whole vibration. You become the devil to your own self. You're not helping yourself. You need to rest on those things or you're going to be resting. Look at all of these cards of duality here. This is exactly the whole point. You have to understand that this energy is not bad. It's just wrongly applied. Use this energy of courageous fear. Again, acceptance of the outcome, not being fearful of it. Acceptance. If I go to war, damn, I might die, but I'm still going to go because I love my wife, I love my kids, and I would hate to see anything bad happen. But if I even can think of it and see it in my mind, I want to even stop that. The thought of it. I want to protect it. I'm going to have such a big ego of keeping what I have. You're never going to get away with it. That is that energy. But it's just applied in a new way. That ego to protect, it's the same ego to destroy. One wants to destroy for the sake of preserving. One wants to preserve for the sake of destruction. Still the same evil, so to say. So, let us move forward by combining those two things and putting them on a team. And me choosing to be the helm. And if you're a lady, you choosing to receive the energies and the downloads. You, ladies, I just got super triggered right now. Ladies, you have to understand your power. Receiving or the submission to the feelings that you carry are the truest powers you have. Submission is your superpower. If you aren't receiving, aka submitting, you're not doing anything but staying in confusion. To get yourself out of confusion in any regard, you have to submit to the scenario, submit to the situation, receive it. And I'm talking to the ladies right now because men can do this. Men can go work for a boss who they know they're better than, who they know sucks, who they know is an asshole, but they'll do it. They'll submit to that job and that boss in those negative situations for the outcome benefit. My family got food on the fucking table. This here is the act of acting on what you have submitted on. It's one of the most powerful cards. This card is the Chariot. It's represented by Cancer, the ruler of all emotions. Cancer rules the emotions because they can come out of them. Scorpio, they don't rule the emotions. I don't even like Scorpio as a water sign because it's the fire, it's the essence of water. That's what a Scorpio is. Scorpio is the essence side. Cancer is the motion or dynamic of the water. And then Pisces is the manifestation. It's the combination of the essence, and it's the combination of the dynamic, and that gets us what we see. That's why Pisces is the mature water energy. It's the oldest water energy. It is familiar. It can identify the differences between these things that are normally hidden. It is that high priestess energy. But the Chariot, it feels all of that, and it can see all of that. So what does it do? It moves in accordance to both of them together, which is why that crab can walk horizontally, or aka sideways, but you forget that these crabs can also go underground. You forget these crabs can also go into the water and swim away. You forget these crabs can float on top of the water and just get moved to a different position. The crabs can manipulate the water so much inside and outside of it. That's because it has its own shell. And because it has its own protection, water gets in crabs. It happens. But it doesn't sink it like a boat. So that is the difference. That's the difference between like sword cards and air signs. Air signs, they don't want to be in the water, even though there's bubbles in water. But what they'll do, they'll search for some movement away outside of the water. They'll create a boat or something. Fire doesn't even want to go near it. But the idea is the crab can do many similar things like the other elements while still being water. That is why this emotional energy is important, because this is the emotional side, but this is the crab side. Here's the water, here's the crab. Here's the wave, here's me digging. Here's the wave, here's me floating. I'm below the wave now. Here's me walking on the sand underwater. I can do many more things with the emotions if you rest on the emotions that serve you not. It's the emotions attached to the thoughts. So it looks like there's 3 thoughts of this 7. That's funny, because if you take away 3, you get to the 4. So there's 3 thoughts that you are championing that is causing you most of this confusion, and it's causing you to put attention and energy on some pentacles with a faulty foundation. There's the Ace of Excalibur, the Ace of Swords, Ace of Excalibur, I'm sorry. There's one of these things in here that has this energy that you need to say, I got it all. I'm going to focus on this one. It's going to give me all of the emotional balance I need, and I can defend it or protect it as I need to. I can be fierce and ferocious now. There's something that's happening. Let me see what that energy is. What is that one? Because again, when these cards first came out, I believe the Ace of Pentacles was there, and I told you that finding that new platform to springboard from, that new rooted foundation, I think that's what we was looking for. What is that? What is that Ace of Pentacles for us? It's going to help us get that new emotional start. I swear. Just started on something new. Now you want the 8. The 8 says to start on something new. The 8 says to take the 7, take the 7, take the 7. Oh, add a 0. So we're just adding another space. So by just adding another space, another pentacle, look, we even threw one of the pentacles on the ground. We harvested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of those 7 things got put up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th one got tossed. That's the bad seed. That's the bad fruit. That's the one that will rotten everything else. It's the bad one of the bunch. Toss that shit out and start working on a new one. That's what it looks like. It's like you're taking what you had, something that you valued, something that you loved, something that was on your mind though, and you take it, you value it as what it is, but you toss it to the side because you want to work on something new. So because you're working on something new, it looks like that you're finding a new way to value the things that you have around you. For me, if I had to tell you, pick me, Mr. Henson. Yes, I'm starting a new journey of what? Not going back to the old me who wasn't afraid to be completely different. One thing I've been missing is my vegan foods. I've been struggling with eating food because, again, low vibrations, it only comes with low vibrations. Food is not the low vibration. It is why you're eating it. It's how come you're grabbing it. It's the purpose behind it, the intentions. That is what makes low vibrational food low vibrational. Even McDonald's can be a positive thing. Again, there's so many more benefits. You can use those benefits to overcome that one negativity. That one pentacle, here it is. That one pentacle that you throw out, oh, McDonald's is fast food. It has chemicals. Throw that shit out. There's a lot more benefits for you in a situation, and you are creating more. Again, anybody can justify anything is what this is trying to say. Anybody can justify any cause, any action. But the justification of one's action, it comes in a different form. What is that form? Newness. Are you doing something just because? Are you trying something new because you want to? Are you feeling light, happy, carefree? Are you feeling like the sun? Are you feeling like you're able to be confident in all directions, even if you don't know any direction? I can just start, and I can, appreciate what I got, but that's old news. I can start, and it can be new news. There's little things like I've been doing, like, for instance, if you're hiring anything in business, speaking, motivational speaking, business training, HR, I'm willing to work with you. I am. I'm willing to do something new. I kind of want to do travel, be like a business consultant, developer or something. I really like the idea of being a trainer. I don't really like HR, but HR has a lot of leadership training roles. So guess what? I don't like the HRs that I've had before. That's it. Other than that, I do. HR is a place that's supposed to be helping people. So these are 2 things that I'm willing to step in, well, really 3 things that I'm willing to step into because I get to teach, but I'm throwing out the education thing. The classroom thing, the tutor thing, the sessions, these things, I value them. I love that people can learn, but I got to get rid of them. I got to let them go. Sorry, got a computer dying. I got to let it go. I can let anything go at the end of the day, and I can still value those things that I let go. That is us with this confusion. You can value the fears that you carry, but because you're putting them on a new plate, because you're putting them on a new platform, you can move away from the fear knowing that it's not fear, it's just something. It's just something that happens. And when that something just happens, you can start brand new. You can move away from it, and you don't have to be fearful that you don't like that shit. You can let it go, unleash it. Unleash the idea of your dark side upon something that's stopping you and keeping you fearful. Don't spank the child for being afraid. Go spank the parent who spanked that child in your mind. And then you laugh with the child so you can know that the child is happy. And guess what? You might have the idea that now that child is going to have a worse time off because I told the parent off. The child is going to remember. The child now is going to have a difference. The child is going to have a different foundation for that emotions that they're going to be confused with. That child is going to have the opportunity to compare the two. That child is going to have the opportunity to move and rest on those things that bring heartbreak and open up something brand new. One thought, one platform, one cup, all me. So if it's all me in any situation, I can be happy. I can take this foundation that's upside down and I can rise up through it. And as you rise up through it, you create more movement. It doesn't matter. The four of rods, this card doesn't matter if it's upright or if it's reverse. It doesn't matter. It is stability in and of itself through all passions. This is one of the only cards that truly display the fact that reversals and upright cards don't mean anything. This is the prime card. They're directions. They're signposts for energy. That's how it is. So when cards come out horizontal for me, when they come out horizontal instead of upright like this, that shows me that you're enacting two energies at once. It's a fork in the road. So as you're coming across these forks in this road, you got to start to understand that your decision will throw out something. Your decision to do one thing means you're not doing the other. The fact that you're eating chicken means you're not eating beef. And then guess what? The fact that you can eat all three, a surf and turf, I want to say, chicken, let's say shrimp, and beef, then you can call it something new. Like chow mein medley or something. Let's get our final message. The final message is you can change and you can overcome any of your confusion by addressing where the confusion comes from. And once you can move away from those things, you can move towards the things that make you happy. And when you move away from those things and you move towards the things that make you happy, you realize that you can be the King of Cups. And the King of Cups has the Ace of Cups below it. So what that means is you can hold on to your ace. And I always say the King of Cups is wonderful because he loves to share, but he doesn't share from this big bottle no more. He only shares from this share bottle. Oh yeah, you can have a little bit. I can share with you. The King of Cups is willing. And even if it's a lot of people don't understand the King of Cups energy. He can give a whole ocean's worth of energy to you. And you can think that you got the world, but he still got the backup ocean. Like he got the 8 other bodies of oceans behind you. You think because it's an ocean it's a lot, but to him, it's nothing. It's nothing. So this is the idea of being in this ace. His cup never stops flowing. So it's an infinitude. Even if you get an ocean's worth, this dude has an infinitude of emotional abundance. Whether it's confusion or not, he doesn't care. He's happy 100%. He is the Cancer sign, being okay with all of their moodiness and all of their lovingness and nurturing. And they move forward. It's the Crab. He just don't care. But this card is more closely represented by the Scorpio. This card, as the Scorpio instead of the Pisces to me, a lot of people say it's the moon card. It's not. Well, everybody has their own point of view, again, because they're looking at different maps. But anyways, this is the Scorpio card for me because this card can always be hidden. That's what people say. Scorpio hide emotions. All water signs hide emotions. What the Scorpio does is it's the essence. So the essence of abundance, or the essence of a well, or the essence of a whale, all of these things represent big things, bigness, gigantuan, deep, dark depths. It represents the idea of things being like large. But most of the time you give a little bit. So it's like people notice that this person is giving what they're giving, but they're curious because they feel like this person is acting like they got more to give. All the people see is just this little ass cup, this little chalice. They don't know they got the ever-flowing well in the back, but they think something is up. They think this guy is holding back something. They think this guy got something. Look at his clothes. Look at his robe. You ain't just a regular dude. You acting all humble. You acting all, meek. What's going on here? But you act as if you got it like that. I'm confused. You're a mystery. Oh, it's because I got this big-ass loving cup in the back, it never stopped giving. So, yeah, I'm going to give because I'm always giving too. And guess what? People might not see that as balance, but that's the right angle. That's the right way to be. The right way to be is to be forever giving, abundance in what you have, because you can go back and drink from that water too. So just because you passing out the water doesn't mean you don't drink. And you know that your well will never stop. So you're always full. It's really important to make sure that if you don't feel this way, you drink your water, you drink your teas, you get your liquids in you, all of them. Go on a liquid fast, drink all kind of liquids, and you see which emotions are triggered by which liquids. Little experiment for yourself. But if you go play basketball off of Dr. Pepper and you don't feel any kind of bad, but then you go and you do some basketball playing off of drinking some milk and you doing bad, I'm sorry to say, the milk isn't good for you. I'd rather you drink the Dr. Pepper. Your body obviously thinks of it differently. There's more love from that Dr. Pepper than it is from that milk, even though people will say milk was healthier. So this is the idea of what we're looking at when we're trying to cause these changes. We're not just looking at moving from the past. We're looking at moving from the fears by moving through them, by bringing funny, by changing them, by helping us spark a new point of view, by helping us say, I'm not in either one of these beastly states. I'm in this state called the mover, the shaker, the in-between. I'm not just worried about whether my ego is going to be bad or good. My ego is just going to be here, so I'm going to be myself. Fuck it. My ego helps me. My ego is trying to help others. I'm doing good. I'm okay. And not only am I doing okay, I'm sharing what I'm giving. And as I share what I give, I can receive what I gave. And then it can come back full loop. So go give to people so you can receive the memories of you giving to others. So you can now have that memory's energetic emotional signature to go into this deep, dark depths and bring that light to those demons. Bring that light to that confusion. You feel bad because nobody wants to give, but you're a giving loving person. Go put those memories of all those givings and give thanks to yourself on the inside for yourself. And now you have a new foundation to stand on. And those confusing emotions can be the reason why we celebrate life as we do today. So I appreciate y'all for being here. Hope this helps you get over any confusion that you have in your life. And if not, I'm rooting for you anyway. Peace.